Have you ever been pressured by someone to do something sexual that you weren't ready for?
Luckily, no.
Not physically pressured, but somehow like manipulated to do things that I didn't want to do, or like emotionally manipulated, or that I got the feeling if I wasn't doing what he wanted, then maybe the relationship could end, then maybe he could spread rumors about me that weren't true. So yeah, something like that.
Yes. Many times. I think the whole culture around no, people are now more aware of it, that when a woman says no, she means no, but I think no sometimes it feels like it means nothing. Or I've been in situations where I've said no and it's been completely ignored, and I've had to repeat myself many times, and still I wasn't heard. So hopefully that changes.
Hey everyone, Dana here, and normally I would probably start a video like this by saying that I'm so excited to be here filming with Ella from TheBee, and I am.
Me too.
I am super excited to be here. But the video topic for today is one that I must say I'm a little nervous to get into.
Yeah.
And so I am even more grateful to be here filming with Ella. So thank you so much. I want to share this experience that I've had because I hope that maybe by me sharing it, anyone else who has experienced it or maybe is experiencing it, then they can know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
That I've experienced it too.
Yeah.
And maybe just recognize that it's not okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Also for everyone else out there, like just to know that this happens and it's not okay.
Yeah, true.
So shall we just, on that note, jump into it? Okay.
You ready?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
ready. When I was a teenager, I was just starting to date, and I was dating this one guy who I was so in love with. Ella, like that head over heels feeling of just like that young love where you just lose yourself,
Yeah.
So it was like that. And I did not have any experience sexually, and I guess I was going a little too slow for him because he really started pressuring me to do things that I was not ready to do. Sexual things that I was not ready to do.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't ready, and he knew I wasn't ready because I kept saying no.
Oh, wow.
He would say, can we do this? Or please, let's do this. And I would say, no. I would say it kind of timidly because I didn't want to say no, So I was like, no. And then he would say, please, and
oh gosh,
no, and please, no. And it went like that back and forth for a while. And I would keep saying no, until at some point I would eventually say, okay. Not because I wanted to do it, but just because he had worn me down,
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like saying no anymore. Yeah. And I felt guilty.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I felt guilty for continuing to say no. I felt like a bad girlfriend, Or just I felt...
Can I ask you a question? How you felt after it? Was it like, okay, that wasn't nice, but okay? Or did it do something with you?
Right. So that's the second thing that I really wanted to mention in this video. You hit it right the nail on the head exactly. Okay, it wasn't good at all that I was being pressured like this, but that was only kind of the first layer of what was really messed up about it. The second layer is that I didn't really see anything wrong with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Like, I really didn't. It wasn't like some big secret that he was doing this or that it was happening like this.
Yeah.
He even joked about it with my friends in front of me and said like, I'm slowly easing Dana into doing more sexual things. And we all laughed about it, including me. I laughed about it. I thought it was funny. I thought
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, like I really thought like, ha ha ha, exactly. In my mind, it even seemed like maybe something a little romantic, as awful as that now sounds. Looking back on it, I can see how messed up this was. But at the time, it seemed like, oh, it's kind of romantic that he's going slowly for me. Only he wasn't, because he was pushing me. He wasn't going slowly. But I didn't see that at the time because I said no so much that it felt like he was going slowly. Because
you waited.
Right. Right, exactly. And so I was thinking, oh, it's really romantic, or it's nice how he's easing me into these different stages of finding my sexuality. He's helping me to discover my sexuality. Only he wasn't helping, he was pushing.
Yeah, thinking about himself.
Yeah, exactly. And from, I would say, movies, TV shows, the sex education that I had in school, just from basically everything that I grew up with around me, I expected this.
Yeah.
I grew up in America expecting that boys would do that.
Yeah.
And so it didn't surprise me when it happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
I had a similar experience just because of other reasons, I think. I was a late bloomer. I was such a late bloomer. So I had my first boyfriend when I was 17, and he was older than me, so he had a lot more experience, and I really loved him. I think it was unhealthy. It was the same thing with him. He didn't beg, but he always tried to do the next step before I was ready. And when he did the first step, that was the first time we were alone, when he tried the first step and I was laying there being like, is that happening? Whoa. And I couldn't say anything. I was thinking, I don't think I want that, but I wasn't able to just talk about it and be like, I don't want that. And I think part of it is because I was always thinking, I'm a late bloomer, I'm late to everything. Everybody else had sex before me, so I have to keep up now. Plus, he was older and had more experience. So I just, after a time I went with it. He never begged, but he always tried to do the next step before I was ready. In perspective, is that
retrospect,
English? Retrospect? Whoa, English. It really messed me up for a while. After this ended, I really took a long time to do the next step with everybody else. So when I have the next boyfriend, it took me, I think, a year to be able to open up again because I just wasn't ready. I don't know how honest I can be now, but the first time wasn't nice. And that's one thing I always heard. The first time for women is always bad because it hurts, so expect that. And now when I look back on it, I'm like, no, it just hurt because I wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. If I just gave myself more time or had a boyfriend that would be more willing to help me or wait with me till I'm ready, then I think I would be nicer. The first girl who had sex in our class was 13, and then I think everybody else was done with having their first time at 16, 17. So when I was starting to kiss the boy for the first time at 17, I was so late that it wasn't the begging thing. It was more than I'm not cool because I didn't have sex yet. You don't have a boyfriend yet? Oh, but you have sex now with this one. No, we just danced. Oh. So I had the feeling I'm not cool because I can't keep up with it.
The other thing that I also experienced was this feeling of like, I don't want to be prude, which is but I also don't want to be a slut. You know, and I'm putting that in quotes because that's how I felt in America, that it was like this line that I had to walk.
Isn't that crazy? Because I think it's really hard to find the middle way. Is there one?
There isn't. No. Society was judging me no matter what I did.
Yeah, true.
I could never please everyone.
Yeah.
What I didn't consider was first and foremost pleasing myself.
Yeah.
I was trying to please the guy, society, everyone else, the friend group, or just measuring myself to other people to figure out how I would feel good about myself. I never really felt like I could look at what I really wanted.
I'm not ready.
Even though when I did say that, the problem was he kept pushing.
Yeah.
So
it's not
how many times can you say no? I mean, I guess at some point I should have just got up and left and broken up with him. But I was completely in love.
Yeah,
so.
That's one part too. You don't want to lose the other person, and you're too young to realize because he's always pushing, he's not the right one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I really don't like this thing that I feel like happens in the US as far as movies and TV shows. And I think Germans watch a lot of American movies and TV shows, so they might get that as well.
Yeah.
I really see, as far as sexual things go, like the boy and the girl making out.
Yeah.
And then he tries to put the hand up the skirt and she, no,
Yeah.
you know, and he tries again, no, and he tries again.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
and that's like a movie trope that I have seen a lot.
Yeah.
Like everyone is getting those messages
Yeah.
that's
Normal.
and
sweet.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's not okay.
No.
It's not okay. No means no.
Yeah. It's easy to forget that these kind of behaviors do something with you and do something with you for the rest of your life.
Yes. I can't say that I have been thinking about this forever because for the longest time I didn't even realize it was a big deal at all.
Yeah.
I just thought
That's
that's
how
how
it
it
is.
goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And then one day, from reading some stuff on this topic, from hearing about other people's experiences, and that's why I want to make these videos and talk about it, because when I heard other people's experiences, one day I had the light bulb of like, ding, that wasn't okay.
Yeah.
I did things that I didn't want to do, that I wasn't ready yet,
Yeah.
and I ended up crying because of it and
Yeah.
feeling awful
Yeah.
and not understanding
Yeah.
why. I was like, why do I feel awful? This is just how things go, right?
Yeah.
This is just how you explore your sexuality, right? No. It's not how things just go. Exploring your sexuality should be something that you do at your own pace, how
Yeah.
you feel completely comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if somebody is pushing you to go faster or do something that you don't want to do,
Yeah.
that's not okay.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be normal.
Yeah,
That shouldn't
true.
be just part of it. And I wish I had known that.
Yeah, me too. When I look back on myself being younger and having that kind of advice, I think it would be still hard for me to listen to that. So maybe if you are in the position that you see that kind of behavior as in a friend or in the boyfriend's friend, maybe just be helpful and talk to them and make sure that they really, really want this. Because I think that would be easier for me if there would be a friend being like, are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
If you're not ready, it's okay not to be ready, because you need that kind of voice from outside, I think.
Yeah, to say,
Yeah.
when you say no, that should be respected.
Yeah, true.
Have you ever heard of the term blue balls?
Blaue Eier, blaue Hoden, like this?
No.
Okay.
Should I?
Not before you send me the questions.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I've heard of blue balls far too often.
There are synonyms in German. I don't know how common they are. In my school, they called it Süd.
Yeah, in Germany, I think it's called dicke Eier. I don't know.
Another thing that I want to ask you is, have you ever heard of the term blue balls?
No, but I imagine something like I don't know if I can say that.
Okay, so what is blue balls? Blue balls is like if a guy gets an erection and then doesn't have an orgasm.
Okay.
There could then be like an aching feeling.
Okay.
In his testicles.
Yeah.
And then that is called in America blue balls because
okay.
sometimes that could have a bluish tint, I guess.
Really?
Yes. So that is described as blue balls.
Okay.
And just as far as blue balls in general, like, okay, fine. I can imagine that for men and women, if you get really turned on
Yeah.
and then don't orgasm,
Yeah.
there could be some discomfort there, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But the problem comes in with how it is used in the US
To put pressure.
to put pressure. So like if a guy is making out with the partner for a while and then the partner's like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah.
I'm done. Hey, but you gave me blue balls. Like,
Yeah.
how could you do this? You know, how could you give me blue balls like this? You can't just leave me like this. And it's a cultural thing in the US to use blue balls as something to put pressure to do more.
Wow.
When, of course, you can go take care of that yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
That's what
a
I
s-
was thinking.
there's
Why
a
is he-
solution.
Yeah. That's sweet. There's a solution.
There's a solution for that.
Don't give me blue balls. There's a solution for
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not the problem is not with the feeling or saying, I have blue balls.
Yeah.
You know, or describing that feeling. That's not the problem. The problem is using it in the US to pressure people and make them feel guilty. Would you say in Germany, is there...
I never heard that before. And that's crazy. To use something to be like, oh, I'm in pain because you don't do what I want. That's so crazy.
And then, of course, how do you not feel guilty? You know?
Because you don't want them to have pain when you like them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You feel like whatever you say to that, you're an asshole, right?
Yeah, because the person is saying something that sounds serious.
Yeah.
You gave me blue balls, you know? That sounds serious, right?
Like you did something to them that make them hurt.
Exactly. You might feel bad for making out with the person in the first place, you know? So you're like, well, I feel bad that I have now put you in this
position.
And now the whole sexual experience feels like you did something wrong.
And it feels like you have to finish the job to make him feel good.
Exactly. And that is a cultural thing in the US. Like I've heard blue balls referenced in movies, in TV shows, just with people talking in society. It is a pretty well-known thing that is referenced in this way.
I'm curious because I'm German, but I can't speak for all of Germany. Maybe one of you who is German can relate and knows the term. Is there anyone? Please.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
I think that would be interesting to see people's opinions and experiences about it.
Absolutely. And for everything that we've been talking about, please, if you would like to share your experiences and thoughts, there's no pressure there at all to share, but if you would like to, please feel free to do so down in the comments.
Everybody can learn from everybody.
Yeah. So I think you're starting to get a picture of what I grew up in.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think there are some of these things in Germany, but I have gotten the feeling from living in Germany and living in the US, I feel like it's more pressure in the US.
Yeah. I would say that too. That's so hard. Imagine being a mom to a daughter and know she will go through that too.
Or imagine being the parent of a son and wanting to try to make sure that he realizes that this is not okay. And trying to have those conversations with him. And of course he's like, Mom or Dad, come on, I don't want to talk about this. Like,
if you want to do it, you have to talk about it.
Yes, that's true. That's the tagline. If you want to do it, you have to talk about it.
I think that's maybe the only thing you can start to change things.
Yeah.
Because we realized in
retrospect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And maybe it's easier if the parents would start to raise the children to be aware of that.
I was definitely raised like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Don't do anything you don't want to do. But I don't think it was made as clear how hard that would be. Yeah. And I know this is a whole other topic, but I also feel like women in general and girls in general, we are raised in society to have trouble saying no in general. Yeah. Like for anything.
Yeah. Because you feel like if I say no, I'm not a good person.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think so. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so then you have this scenario where you're in bed with someone, you're half naked, you're in such a vulnerable position, you really like this person, and this is the person you want to make the best impression to, and then they're pleading with you and saying, but you gave me blue balls, I'm uncomfortable because of what you did. That is such a hard situation to say. No. But still, my answer is no. Yeah. And I don't think it's fair for anyone to put people in that situation.
No, it's not. Before we were filming, we were both like, oh, I'm so nervous. Yeah. But I think it's so important to talk about it just to make sure that someone who's watching the video being like, oh, okay, it's okay to say no. Mm-hmm. I'm okay if I say no. I'm okay if I'm not ready. I think that would be easier if you have this part of talking about sex in your sex education at school. Not only being this is a wiener and this is what you have and how to put a condom on a banana.
Or, which I will get into in another video, what I had in the US, which was the only safe sex is no sex at all. Don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex until marriage, don't have sex. Nothing about a condom, birth control pill, anything. It was an abstinence-only sex education course, which is very common in the US.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I got. Not banana, condom, cucumber, whatever they used.
Wow.
Growing up in Germany, as a generalization, how would you expect a man to react to a partner wanting to use a condom?
I mean, personally, I think that shouldn't have something to do with where you are in the world. Any decent man shouldn't be opposed to using a condom if you are in a situation where your partner is, no, I don't want to use a condom, get out of there. Because, no, I think any decent guy should not have a problem with that.
Well, I have never made any negative experiences with that. But I can't imagine that there are men who don't want to use a condom because they think it might distract the feeling somehow of what you have when you're having sex. But I have never made that experience. It was always okay for me and my partner to use a condom.
I mentioned before movies, TV shows, like sexual education in general, and what that has kind of taught me or what I've taken from that. And what I have taken from those things that I grew up watching was also that I can pretty much expect for men to complain or not be so happy about having to use a condom. And you see how I said having to use.
Yeah.
Like that tells everything.
Yeah.
That I grew up assuming from the media that I watched and just the society around me that that's how it would go. That if I wanted to use a condom, it would be my job to enforce that, to be like, no, we're going to use a condom, and I would need to be ready for some pushback. Oh, really? Like, come on, I'm clean. Like, and for me to have to stand my ground and say, no, it's not going to happen without a condom. Yeah. And that's, again, another situation where it's that pressure of saying, this is my boundary, and this is how I'm comfortable doing it, and having the other person try to push that boundary. And I'd love to hear any experience with that, or as far as Germany goes, like, did you think that that was something that would be expected growing up in Germany?
I think we have the advantage of a maybe better sex education. In my sex education at school, for me personally, it was really important for the teacher to tell us about condoms and how important they are because of STDs and stuff like that. I was taught it's really important, so I remembered if the guy doesn't want to use a condom, it's too dangerous for me because I don't know why he doesn't want it. He didn't want it with other girls? What is the problem there? So for me, it was always really important to be on top of my game with the birth control. When I was sure that, okay, now it moves in the direction for the first time, I get the pill and we use a condom. And I was sure I will do that until I'm sure that's the person I want to be with forever.
Okay.
So I never thought about having sex with someone without a condom. That was absolutely no.
So it wasn't like, I just feel like in the American culture, I grew up assuming that I would hear guys complain about, but it doesn't feel as good. Yeah. So that...
I think in Germany you have people like that too, but I think for my friend group, it was always made fun of. Oh yeah, he doesn't want to use a condom because it doesn't feel... Oh yeah, of course. That's what I grew up with. So for me, it was laughed about. For me, it was always a red flag when someone was talking about it like that. So it wasn't someone who would be in my bed.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. So our question for you is, how is this where you live or where you grew up? And we're just two people with our own experiences. If you feel comfortable about it, please, what have been your experiences with this? Maybe we can all learn from each other, you know?
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Please let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and a really big thanks to Ella for talking to me about this topic. Helps. Yeah, really, thank you. We're also filming something for Ella's channel, so be sure to go check that out as well. And this video is part of a bigger series, so don't forget to subscribe to check out those videos. And we've got a playlist over here.
Remember to thumbs up.
Oh yeah, give a like. And there's that bell thing too.
Yeah,
the bell. You know what to do. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Hey, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Cool. That will be a good video.